Well, hey guys, welcome back to my video. I'm glad that you stopped by again. In this video, and now that I'm back to doing videos, we're going to be talking about a app that I'm using and also my sobriety journey. So if this is something that you're kind of like sober curious about or want to know about or get some more information about it, stick around because I've got a lot to say about it. I have been uh, not drinking for a pretty long time now, so I've kind of gone through the whole gamut of, uh, what it feels like, how I'm doing health wise, how other people react to me not drinking for quite a while. So there's a lot to unpack here. So buckle up and we'll get to it. I've got some of my notes here on the side that I'm going to be looking at. And this is just, off the cuff, off the top of my head. I don't usually have things written down, so I'll just be talking about certain points. And feel free to go ahead and leave me your comments below and leave me your stories if you want to share in our community. We're very inclusive and, we share information with amongst ourselves. We're a really good community down here. I make sure that there are no, negativity and bullies or anything like that. So if you feel comfortable in sharing your story about your journey, feel free to go ahead, and I'm very good about answering everybody's comments below. I always check my comment feed all the time, so I won't leave you hanging. If you have any questions about anything, how to get started or anything like that, feel free to ask me, and I'll do my best to either gather the information for you or answer you based on my own experience. Okay, so let's get started. A little background story, and I will leave you links to those videos somewhere, around here that you can click on, and also in my description below. I have health issues. So I have two major autoimmune health issues. One is called primary biliary cholangitis, and that has to do with my liver. Ergo, this is the reason I am, sober. But along with that, I also have another pretty serious health condition, which is called essential thrombocythesis. And that has to do with my bone marrow makes a lot of white platelets or platelets. I don't know if it's white blood cells or platelets, but it makes a lot of them. My body does not know how to shut that off. It's supposed to be like a valve that makes a lot of platelets, and then when the platelets are in your bloodstream, adequate amounts of it, your body shuts it off so it doesn't make any more. Well, my body doesn't realize how much is in there and keeps on making it. Think of it as an overflowing bathtub or a sink with water, and it just keeps on flowing. There's no tap to shut it. Okay, so I'm on pretty heavy duty medications for these two health conditions. Now, when I first was diagnosed with the liver issue, I immediately asked my doctor, is this alcohol related? Is this something, did I do something? Did I drink a lot? I love my martinis. I love my stuffed olive martinis. I love me a good margarita on a Friday to go out. I am half Italian, so I love my wine with my pastas when I'm eating. I was not a out of control drinker. I was not a sloppy drunk. I was not a person that, put a lampshade on their head or blacked out. But I did enjoy a couple of drinks a few times a week. So my mind immediately went ding, 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 ding. I'm bad. I'm responsible. I did something wrong. Excuse my French, my liver. You know, I did something. My doctor assured me that the autoimmune condition that I have is not related to drinking, has nothing to do with that. However, this is what I want to stress. Alcohol with any amount does me absolutely no good. And he made that perfectly clear to me. He said, I can't make you not drink because, you know, technically, I mean, you're an adult, you do what you want to do, but with the medication I'm about to give you, and you did have a liver biopsy, which was no easy thing, let me tell you, to go through. If you can avoid alcohol, I would strongly encourage you to avoid it, because any amount will not do any good for your autoimmune system. Your liver basically does not know how to handle alcohol or handle some types of foods. My body attacks the biliary ducts, and the biliary ducts are the ones that make bile, and the bile is the one that goes into your stomach and your intestines to work on digesting your food. So if your biliary ducts are shriveling up and dying off because your body's attacking them, then you're going to have really bad problems with your intestines and your stomach and all of that. And it just can get worse and worse. So, not to belate the problem, but once I heard all of that, I'm like, okay, I'm done. I don't need to drink. I can do this. You know, I'll figure it out. I'll read about it. I can do this. And I'll put certain links on my description here about you know, things I read, certain books I read, everything like that. So I went home, and the first thing I did was start Googling everything, start looking up everything, and of course I couldn't drink. But my feeling was, I said, okay, I have no choice about this. This is not a matter of, well, I'm going to tone it down, or I'll have a drink once a week or whatever. No, I mean, I literally have no choice. And I think that's the takeaway I want to emphasize to people, that as drinkers, all of us have this choice on when to stop, how to stop. Do we just slow down? Do we cold turkey? What do we do? Most of us have the time to really think this through and get a game plan going. I didn't have that luxury. I had zero time. It was like, well, you take another drink and, you know, your liver will be damaged that much more. The medications won't work for you. You will deteriorate, you know, whatever it is. So I made it the conscientious choice for my family, for myself, to say, I just need to stop today. When I walk out of this doctor's office, I am no longer a drinker. Okay. And that honestly was harder than I thought it would be, because there's so much socializing and social connection into grabbing a drink with friends, sitting down to a nice meal with your spouse or your partner, going out and just relaxing, you know, on a Friday night. What do you do now? How do you deal with that now? How do you fill that gap? Okay. Can you even exist in society without a drink? You know, it's like did you just grow 3 heads or something? People will look at me. People will stare at me. What will they say? What will they ask when I don't want to drink that night with them, you know? Do I tell them all of my health issues as a way of letting them know why I'm not drinking? These were all these things running through my head at like a million miles an hour. They were just running through my head because I was trying to solve everything in 24 hours. I was trying to solve my entire dilemma of how I will go about to live the rest of my life without drinking. I was trying to make up, okay, I'm going to answer this for this person, and if they ask me this question, I'm going to say this. And if I'm in this situation out at this event, this is how I'm going to handle it, you know, blah, blah, blah. And what I want to emphasize to you guys is you don't have to have all the answers right in front of you. You don't have to solve the Rubik's Cube right then and there. You don't have to figure it out right then and there. And I think a lot of people are so overwhelmed with, I want to stop drinking, or I want to slow down, but before I do all that, I've got to have answers to every single situation. No, you don't. No, you don't. You just have to take it literally, like they say, one day at a time, 1 hour at a time, one event at a time. Okay. So that's what I learned. Now let me look at my notes. So I'm saying how I feel health-wise. Health-wise, I'm feeling great. Health-wise, the only thing that I noticed is I am less tired, of course. I did have some hangovers, you know, as normal people would when they're drinking. I've had, you know, headaches and been washed out for the rest of the day if I drank the night before. Oh, I'm drinking juice, by the way. So that was completely eliminated. I've went to having some headaches or waking up blah or having a sensitive stomach to having none of those issues. So that's been a godsend. So yeah, moving on from there, the health issues, I wasn't drinking so much that I would be blacking out or that I had neurological damage or anything like that. So thank God, you know, I was able to just rebound and not have any of those issues. All right. Number 2 on my list was how I managed to still celebrate events with people that drink. So this is the I think the subject that a lot of people tippy-toe around is like, well, okay, I don't drink at home. And I'm cool with that, and nobody cares whether I live on my own or I live with my family. My family knows what I'm doing, and I'm comfortable being in my house, not drinking. That's cool. But, oh my gosh, I'm going to a wedding, an event, a celebration, a graduation, whatever, going out at night with people, clubbing, whatever. And now I'm out in the environment. I'm not in my safe zone of my home. What do I do? How do I handle it? How do I approach not getting a drink or getting a soda? What are they going to say? What do I say when they ask me, hey, why are you having a drink, you know, a ginger ale or a Diet Coke or whatever? How come you're not drinking? You know, am I going to say I'm on medication? Am I going to say, oh, I'm taking antibiotics, so I can't drink right now? Do I tell them it's a temporary thing? I'm just, you know, taking the week off or the month off? Or do I tell them the truth that I really want to sober up and I don't want to no longer drink anymore? So how much information do I give to that person? And my answer to that is it depends on the person you're talking to. Do I feel obligated to tell them my life story? Am I going to sit there at a club and tell this person that I hardly know, well, I was diagnosed with this horrible autoimmune, and my liver cannot take anything like alcohol or any other types of foods. And so I went for this, test. And my doctor and I had this discussion, and I blah, 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 and this and that. I mean, you don't have to, and you shouldn't have to, give a 20-minute speech to every single person that asks you, hey, I notice you're not drinking, or aren't you going to drink, or hey, what's going on, aren't you in a mood or party or whatever. Change it toward the situation, whatever you feel comfortable with. I had a few drinks the other night, and I'm just not feeling up to it, but I really want to socialize and be with you guys. I'm enjoying my time here. I'm on antibiotics. I've done this just to shut people up. I'm on antibiotics, or I'm on a certain medication right now. I can't mix alcohol with it or it won't work. So yeah, I'll be back to normal soon. Even you might not see these people for 3-4 months. What do you care, And believe me, as long as you are not stopping them from drinking, they don't really care. They're being kind of polite and asking you, but they're okay with the 10-second explanation. As long as you're not going to be on your soapbox preaching to them about all the pitfalls and horrendous things that can happen when you're drunk, and you shouldn't be drinking either because I'm not drinking, so you shouldn't be drinking. They don't really care all that much. They're there slapping down the drink, and they're getting happier and more talkative, and they're gonna go on to their other people to talk to, and believe me, they are not going to dwell on why you're not drinking. They're not. People are not like that. You're not that important to them. I'm being honest right now. You are not that important to them, okay? As long as you're not handcuffing them to not drink, they don't care, okay? They're just making polite conversation, maybe a little curiosity, and that's it. So tweak it. Don't worry about not giving people the right answer. Don't worry about even making up a story about, medication or anything like that. Just don't worry about it. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter to them, okay? Now, I'll give you a little side note here. I have found, and it's taken me a while, I have found, and by the way, I'll leave you links below on some of the brands that I really like, but I have found that, especially in the past year, a lot of sober curiosity has been going around. So when you go into a liquor store, grocery store, package store, whatever you call it in your name area, there is a section, and a growing section, and a very strong area in a lot of these liquor stores with alcohol-free or very low alcohol beverages. And some of them are really good, really good. I like, Bitburger 00, Heineken 00. A lot of the beers are really good. I'm a beer person. I do like my beer. I guess I have some Germanic background in me, so I really enjoy that, and I have no problem ordering or asking a waiter in a restaurant. First thing I say is, what are your NA beers? What are your non-alcoholic beers? And 99% of the time now, I think there's only one Mexican restaurant that I know of locally here that has absolutely zero choices as far as non-alcoholic beverages, other than a soda I'm talking about. But for non-alcoholic beers, most restaurants, and especially if they're a nicer restaurant, will have 2 to 3 choices. A lot of them will have the Heineken 00. They'll definitely have O'Doul's. O'Doul's is one of the oldest non-alcoholic brands. And by non-alcoholic, they really have 0.5% alcohol per volume, which is, you know, it's fine. That to me is non-alcoholic, and they deem it as non-alcoholic. It's not going to do anything to my liver if I have no duals versus a Heineken 00. It's not. Okay. Bitburger is another one that's really good. Samuel Adams has come out with a number of them that are non-alcoholic. There are IPAs now that are non-alcoholic, which blows my mind. So you can find a really good tasting beer, if beer taste is what you're after, that is non-alcoholic. You don't have to, you know, deprive yourself of that taste. And it looks great in a beer bottle, or you can have it in your can, and you can walk around at your events, and no one will be the wiser that you are not drinking a beer. You don't have to explain to anyone. All you are doing is not getting drunk as the night progresses. Everybody else is going to get kind of more yippity-yappy and happy-go-lucky and dancing around the floor, and you're just going to enjoy yourself, probably have a good laugh on seeing how everyone else is reacting, and you will be stone cold sober. So, you know, enjoy yourself. The wines, I have not really found, honestly, a wine substitute yet. Still on it, but you know what? I love grapefruit juice. I love the Diet Welch's juices. So that's what I do at home. If I want to mimic having a glass of wine, I usually put a Welch, you know, grape juice in a really nice stem glass and go on with my life, and that's it. So yeah, celebrating things, celebrating events, you can start to find your substitutes and the things that you're going to like. And again, don't feel the need to have to explain to people, okay? Okay, number 3 is I'm going to talk about the app I use. So when I first started this journey, I said, you know, I'm going to need help. I'm going to need to know what I'm doing. I'm going to be wanting to be held accountable in some way. And I do need a community around me. I didn't feel that I needed AA. I know a lot of people swear by AA, Alcoholics Anonymous, or however they call it now. I didn't feel that I needed to go that route because, again, I didn't have a chemical dependency on alcohol. And I was a social, you know, drinker. So I said, you know, there's got to be apps and things that I can keep track of how much I drink, or if I'm not drinking, how many days, and, you know, maybe some community where other people are going through the same thing. And I'll put a picture over here. I use the I Am Sober app. It has a day counter, so it tells you how many days that you are sober, and it's on the honor system. If you do have a drink or something happens and you know, you fall off the wagon, as they say, there's a reset button. There's no judgment on it. It's you against the app, so it's gonna reset the date, but you're gonna start at day 1. What I really love about the app is, first of all, it's free. Okay, so right then and there, there's a premium price that you could pay, but that's for actually live support or chat. So there's a support area in it where you can talk to a healthcare provider or a mental therapist to help you along if you're having a tough time of it or a hard time of it, or you just need an extra you know, someone to listen to you, or you're having an issue somehow, a bad day. So for a premium, it's they have therapists, and they have people that are online that can help you, talk you basically off the ledge. Okay. They also have a community that they're like, it's hard to explain, and I'll show you screens. They open up the community posts. So there's posts, blogs, posts, whatever, of the community. Think of it as like think of it as Facebook, but for people that are trying to be sober. They have a community where you can post your good days, your bad days, your celebrations, your victories, your failures, whatever. You post your daily updates, and of course everyone can reply and chat and give you encouragement or, you know, help you along. Those areas open up per the amount of time that you have been sober on the app. So there's a 1-day community, there's a 1-week community, there's a 2-week community, a 1-month community, you know, 6-month community, or whatever the milestones are. There's different milestones. As you reach the milestones, that community tab area will open up. So if you're only 5 days sober, for example, you do not get the privilege of opening up the 1-month area to be able to comment in there or post in there. Okay, once you reach your 1-month milestone, then that community opens up to you. So by that way, but you can go backwards. So you can be 6 months sober, be in the 6-month community, but you still have access to the 3-month community, the 2-month community, or the 1-week community. And they do that because as you progress into your seniority of being sober, they want you to encourage you to go back, basically go back in time and help others along that aren't up to your timeline. So for example, let's say I'm 6 months sober, I could look back to the 1-month tab, and let's say I'm scrolling through there and I read that someone's really having a tough time of it that day and they're posting on the 1-month tab. I could say, you know, yes, I experienced this when I was 1 month along. You're going to have these feelings or this experience probably for the next month or two, but hang in there. Don't worry, because I'm in 6 months and I can assure you that you're going to be okay and you're going to make it through, and I'm here to help you. And if you need help, please reach out to me. And I have done that a number of times, and I can't tell you how many times that person in the earlier stages has reached back out to me and said, thank you so much for letting me know that this is normal, that I'm going through something normal, that I'm going to feel like this for X amount of days, that I know that there's an end to it, that I'm going to feel better soon, and blah, blah, blah. Thank you so much for reaching out to me. And that's what this community is about, and the I Am Sober app is about. I absolutely love it, and I think that most people that would like to try, you know, being sober, and the I Am Sober app, by the way, is available for a number of different addictions. There's, I don't know how many addictions that it can track. So it can track, you know, cigarette smoking. It can track any type of drug use, which I won't get into, but whatever it is that it can track. It can also track, what do you call those? Like body dysmorphia and weight issues, eating disorders. Okay, EDs, eating disorders, all kinds of things. OCD. A number of things. I can't remember offhand, but it's not just like, you know, just smoking or weed or drinking or, you know, the top 5 whatever drugs people use. It has a number of disorders that it can track. So when you sign up for it and you log in and you create your account, it can track multiple disorders. Or if you want to track, if you want to tackle one disorder at a time, if you have multiple issues that you want to tackle, but you can do one, or you can highlight what other disorders you want to track as well. So it's very versatile as far as what I can tell. Okay, so anyway, I'm not going to dwell on all of that. I'll put some, like I said, I'm sure I've put some screenshots already up here, and then you know, I'll put any links. The other one I wanted to mention is there's a lady called Annie something or other, and I'll put her name down here. And she has has a book about her journey of getting sober, and it's a fabulous book, and I'll put that link down here below. When I first started this journey, I read her book. Oh, it's called The Naked Mind. That's what it is. Oh gosh, my coaster is falling off. It's called The Naked Mind, and she goes through a whole mental thing about how she approached her drinking, and it really changes your whole outlook on alcohol and what it does to your body and to your mind. Okay, but I'll put all that down here. This is an interesting one. Would I have done this on my own if my health wasn't an issue? My honest answer to that is no. I don't think I have toned down over the years. You know, everybody goes through their teens and early 20s, doing their drinking and alcohol or whatever they do. And since I've been, you know, married, have child and responsibilities, obviously, I've toned down. But like I said, I loved me a nice red glass of wine. I loved me a margarita. I loved the flavored martinis, okay, vodkas, the flavored vodkas, especially around the holidays. Oh my goodness. I liked nothing better than to have dinner or be preparing dinner and having a small, just a small, like a shot glass of flavored vodka as I was cooking, and chit-chatting with my husband or friends that we had over or whoever. I absolutely loved it. I absolutely loved that time. And that, you know, it took a scare. It took a huge scare for me to give that time up. And I have not found you know, a substitute for the flavored vodkas. So I just do without now. I'll have my Heineken 00 as I'm cooking, or I'll have my Samuel Adams as I'm cooking. And that's just been it now. But yeah, being honest to you guys, as I try to be all the time on here on YouTube, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I would not have done this on my own if my doctors had not scared the pants off of me to not have any more alcohol in my system because of my blood workup and because of the medications that I had to take. And one of them is, frankly, the one for my platelets is classified as a very mild chemo. So you don't want to be screwing around with that with alcohol in your system, because, you know, it won't work. It won't do what it's supposed to do. And I want to be around for a while. Okay, and then the last one I had is how has it affected my immediate family? So aside from my friends, which have been very supportive, the ones that didn't know quite my story, I have shared my full story with them, and they're close friends. So everybody knows what is going on. And in my extended family, everybody knows what's going on. People that I just meet day to day, or, you know, servers, whatever, I say whatever I say. I'm not in the mood to drink, or I'm just having an iced tea, or whatever it is. But for my immediate family, I think it's made them realize that if I can do it, maybe they can do a little something. I've definitely seen my husband tone down. He no longer drinks vodka. He doesn't bring it home. He did the first few months after I started getting, off of alcohol. And he's like, well, you're not going to make me stop or anything like that. I said, no, I mean, you do what you want to do. I can't partake in the vodka part. I'm going to have grape juice when you have wine. But I did figure out to have a beer with him when he had a beer, so that was fine. And I noticed slowly, one day he didn't come home with a vodka bottle. And I said, what are you doing? And I think it was around one of the Januaries, the dry January kind of thing. And he said, well, I don't know. I'm just kind of like, I don't enjoy it without you being here, having a little flavored vodka with me. I'm just drinking it by myself. It's not really enjoyable. So, I don't think I'm going to buy it right now. Maybe later. I don't know. I don't feel like doing it. I'm like, oh, okay, no problem. And that's gone into like 2 or 3 years now. He has not bought hard liquor at all. Now, he was never a whiskey drinker. He was never, he'd have his amaretto, and he'll still have that for the holidays. But he was never like a whiskey drinker or anything, bourbon, anything like that. He just liked the vodka, the flavored vodka, and since I've stopped, he stopped, so that's a good thing. He'll have his beer. He still has his beer. He still goes out and has his margarita when I can't. So I'll just have a regular, if the Mexican restaurant has a 0.0, Heineken or something, or O'Deal's, I'll have that. There's one Mexican restaurant, like I said, that doesn't have anything, so I'll just have like a iced tea or Diet Coke. But he'll have his margarita, and that's fine. I'm the designated driver now for all of our family, so that's not an issue. I don't mind it. And, he'll have fun and everything. Do I miss a margarita? Hell yeah. I mean, I'm looking at it and I'm salivating, but I won't have it. Now, I will tell you one thing. There is, and it's only available at Kroger's near my house. It's not available at Publix. There's a juice. I think it's simple. Is it Simple or Simply? There's one juice. It's in the juice section. It's refrigerated. It's called Mixology. And they have 3 or 4 flavors that are blended juices, 100% fruit juice, no alcohol in it, but it's made to taste like, for example, a margarita. So they have lime juice in it, they have a guava in it. There's another one that tastes like a strawberry daiquiri. It's got strawberry juice in it and some other juices in it. And they've got about 3 or 4 different one of these containers, and I'll try to find them and put them up here for you guys, a picture of it so you guys can see it. The margarita one is fabulous. It is like a virgin margarita without the alcohol in it. It is so good. I love that drink. I love the lime in it. I love, I don't know what else it has, the guava, the lime, maybe some orange juice. I'm not sure, but it just hits the mark. So if I'm at home and I want a little celebratory drink, I'll put a couple of ice cubes in a nice little, glass. and I'll pour myself one of those mixology drinks, and it is fabulous. In fact, they do say that you can use the mixology juice to really do mix it with alcohol. So you can take the margarita one and put real tequila in it and shake it up and mix it, and it will taste like, you know, a normal margarita. It's made to do that. They don't have a Bloody Mary mix, but I think if you just drink a regular Bloody Mary mix, like the spicy one or spicy V8, you'll get kind of the same feel to it as a regular, Bloody Mary would be. So how has it affected my family? Back to that, my husband has toned down. My son is also much more, I think he's starting to get sober curious. My son is a pretty steady, heavy drinker. Not as much as he used to be, which is a blessing. And he mostly, if he drinks, it's at home. But he'll have friends over, and he's a younger guy still. He's in his 20s, so he'll have friends over, and they'll be kicking back the beer and playing video games and things like that. But I have noticed that he does not drink the heavy alcohols anymore. He's not a sloppy drunk, and he's really toned it down, especially when we go out. And I think it's out of respect for me that I'm not partaking. You know, he'll have a beer and maybe two, and he'll be done with it. He really doesn't have a mixed drink with me anymore, which is interesting. The past year, I think he's really toned it down, and he even went through, and I had nothing to do with this. He actually attempted a dry January. I think he almost made it. He was a couple of days shy of it. But for the most part, after New Year's, I think or even before that, he did not really drink. I think New Year's he had, some champagne, and then he went dry for January, and I think he lasted up until maybe a couple of days before January into, and then February, of course, rolled around. But, yeah, that's how it's affected my family. I think it's brought awareness. I think that's the word I want to use, awareness. It's brought awareness. And it's also brought awareness, I think, to some of my friends, my closer friends, in that I see now that some of them have toned down a little bit in their drinking. I wouldn't say around me. I don't think that's a good way of saying it. I would say they've toned down in that they're more aware as well. And seeing me that, I survived and I was able to have fun with them and go out to dinner with them and have drinks and everything, they have also been much more mindful of what they're drinking. So I think all around, I think it takes maybe a person to just normalize it, is what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say that maybe me having to do this, it's normalized and not stigmatized the fact that I am sober. And with my friends being the kind of the same age that I am, they're realizing that they're not getting any younger. They're starting to have health issues too, and they better tone it down as well, or they're going to start having health issues as well. So I don't know if that's what's going on in their mind, but I think I'm setting a trend maybe, and again, just making them more aware of that whole thing, that you don't have to keep up with the Joneses as far as drinking. It's not a game, and it's not a good game either. So that's it. I hope this has helped you out. If you have any questions, want to know anything about anything, I'm kind of an open book as far as that's concerned. So go ahead and leave me comments below and questions, and I will be more than happy to answer everything you guys need to know. And this has been really good. I'm really enjoying talking to you guys again, and I'm enjoying having these discussions with these bullet points, just to, you know, kind of like direct me on what to say. But yeah, and let me know if there's any other topics you want me to cover. I'll be more than happy to cover as far as health or anything else that you want me to talk about. Feel free, because, you know, again, I love to talk to you guys. I really enjoy it. Anyway, have a blessed day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the thumbs up and all of that jazz, okay? Love you guys. Bye.